So this is one of my hugest advices. This is one of the most important advice for anyone going through the initial or who have been on the jeju for the last couple years and you're not finding any benefit. If your only reaction to me is, okay, thanks for the information, or sad facing stuff, or I don't know, if your reaction is not anything to where you can share a benefit, then why are you doing it? Why would you torture yourself? If you find no benefit on the jeju and the only response you have to me is thanks for the information and that's it, and then and a sad face on stuff that I post like a year ago, and then you have nothing to offer to me or yourself, anything of value to why you would stay on the jeju, then why are you doing it? See, I don't want to be anyone's guru. I'm not anyone's teacher. I'm not trying to sell you a lifestyle. I'm not trying to sell anyone a lifestyle. Either you do the jeju, you get the benefit, you report on it. If you don't have any benefit on the jeju, then don't do it. But if your indefinite reactions to my information is there's nothing to offer yourself or the community of benefit, and the only reactions you have is that you're in pain and you can't walk, I'm sorry. You have to eat food, you have to drink water, you got to do the jeju. And if there's nothing of benefit you can offer to the world, then why even put anything negative out there? And that's my issue, is those that are on the jeju who don't have anything to share that is a benefit to the group, but all they can share is just woe is me, woe is me, woe is me, and thanks for sharing. Why do it? There's no point. I don't see any benefit for you to do it. And so when I field notifications from people who just don't have anything else to offer except thanks for the information and I'm in pain, okay, we all know you're supposed to be in pain. At some point, there has to be light at the end of the tunnel. I went through the COVID-19 this last couple weeks. Actually, it's probably been about a month, because my exposure was probably when I went to a birthday party that someone was recently vaccinated in. And I didn't get my period last month. I'm hoping I get my period this month. I know I'm not pregnant, but I remember getting the major sneezes a couple weeks ago. And then from that point on, I was drinking so much coffee because I was getting tired. So my body was working through something. So I dealt with the COVID for about a month. And let me tell you, I went through some shit. But you know what? At some point, I had something to say. I had something of benefit to say. I had something good to say about the process. It wasn't like all just negative the whole way through. Remember, I told you, I feel great. I was going through ups and downs, but I kept you in the loop, letting you guys know that I'm not suffering. I'm not getting benefit. I haven't even done the jeju. Actually, I think I did maybe 2 shots between now and a couple weeks ago. 2 shots of jeju, which means I had 4 or 5 years priming my body to deal with this freaking variant. And I actually experienced a respiratory part of it, of which, yes, I am on the last little bit. I noticed that the spirit, I'm telling you, I can understand now being possessed, okay, as far as the spirit, because last night when I told my husband last night, we actually had a fight last night. It was interesting. Nothing bad, but he was probably going like, what the hell? Because I was like, honey, I don't think we can do this, whatever, because I was feeling like shit yesterday. And I'm like, I don't know if I could go and hang out, which I don't think I'm going to. Go hang with a bunch of people when I'm coughing and hacking and feeling like crap. And I'm not going to try to kill somebody who doesn't have what it takes to deal with this. And so he was like, oh my God, you need to go outside. You need to do this, you need to do that. I'm like, it's not about going outside. It's not about, doing all these things that you think that I should do to remedy this. No, I have to go through the process. And my God, I was going somewhere with this. I'll figure it out. But anyways, so oh my God. See, I'm telling you, this is the energy with the jeju. This is crazy. We're not with jeju. I didn't need the jeju, but oh Lordy, this is insane. But anyway, so we had kind of a fight about it, because I'm like, hey, I have to go through the process, and I didn't know how long it would take for me to deal with this stuff. And then today, I didn't even do the jeju, but today I haven't done the jeju. I knew my body was able to deal with it, and here I am. I actually have something really good to say. I'm not coughing. I'm not dealing with anything that's crazy. I may cough a little bit, but not that much. But it's like I have something good to say throughout the process. Okay. And so I'm like writing my stuff. I'm writing my stuff. And so that's why I say like private messages, just keep chill on that because that's a lot of distraction. If you're going to respond to my information, that's great. On some of the, I mean, I know I'm being very particular, but I want you guys to get the benefit. I want you to see that, you know, that at some point you will see a light at the end of the tunnel, and then bring those lights at the end of the tunnel always to surface. Because if you don't remind yourself the benefit of the jeju, then you're just torturing yourself. Like I didn't drink any of the jeju at all so for 2 shots when I felt like I needed to give more energy to the coffee, and that's it. Okay. And so, yeah, my husband and I were like yesterday, he was just like, what the heck? And then today I'm like, I feel amazing. Like I felt, that's right, the spirit. I lost this. I felt like last night I lost some kind of possessive spirit. Like it was weird. I told him this morning that I feel like this weight, whatever it is that was taking a hold of me for the last month, has lifted. Okay? And so that's the thing that you have to be very in tune with your body and know of the benefits. And then yes, you're gonna feel pain, okay? But if your only gripe is if your only communication is a gripe and thanking me for the information, but there's nothing else you can offer to articulate, even if you have a language issue, you can still say, yes, I had this benefit. Say it in your native language, and then the internet will go in and translate it. Okay? And even if the translation is 100%, get the gist of it. But I want those of you guys that haven't offered anything of value to the group to start actually paying attention to the actual benefits of the jejus. Not all the downsides of the pain, but also find the light somewhere. Find the benefit. If you don't find any benefit of the jejus, then get off it because it's not worth torturing yourself. Okay? And so some of the upsides and the downsides of jejus is you'll go through ups and downs. You won't know when the downside is going to end. And it may end sooner, it may end later, but there's no telling. But you know, you got to have faith in the information, but also ride on the past that you had some kind of benefit 6 months ago, but then maybe you got off it because of life. Okay. But remember that experience of feeling something or not feeling something that you were feeling that was like on a continuous basis. And so the practice with jejus is not only just bitching about the pain that you're going to have to inevitably deal with, but finding the freaking benefit. If not, then it's not even worth doing jejus. Just get off it. Because I'll tell you what, if you don't if you don't find any kind of benefit with the jejus, if you can't even articulate the benefit, then why would you do it? Why would you want to torture me, torturing you, torturing me? Why torture yourself? People say, oh, why you torture your dog? Because my dog isn't tortured. My dog actually had to go through her healing process. And then guess what? She doesn't have the candida on her paws anymore. She's not dealing with the fatty tissue tumor that she had anymore. She doesn't have the skin issues. She does not getting as many, actually she's only one little tiny seizure because I was exposed to this new variant, but she's not, peeing the bed anymore. She's not having major seizures anymore. I mean, she's really doing very well. So at some point there's a light at the end of the tunnel, but if you can't articulate that, and if all it is thank you for sharing and I can't walk, then why do it? I want you to actually find something positive to say about your journey with jejus. If you have nothing positive to say about your journey with jejus, then all you're doing is looking at me as some guru. I don't want to be your guru. I don't want to be your doctor. I don't want to be anything but someone that gives you the information and then you give us feedback on your process without mischaracterizing and without leaving out the good stuff. If there's nothing good, then why even say it? But I understand it's balance of both. But if all you have is just the negative and nothing positive about jejus, then what's the point? It's about balance. Find the silver lining in this journey because that's the only thing that's going to keep you on this journey. If not, then it's a waste of freaking time, I'm telling you. I knew that I was going to get through all of my different symptoms. I knew it. Right. And Christina has a whole book of updates. Yeah, write your shit out. Kirsten, from Germany, why don't you write out in your native language all of the benefits that you can find. Okay? Whether you can send it to me through a private message, I don't need to respond to it, but send me all the benefits in your native language. You don't have to try to speak English. Google Translate will translate all of that information, and we'll get the gist of it. But I really want you guys that are on the jejus, that are in my group, to find something positive to say. If you have nothing nice to say, don't say anything at all. I get saying about what difficult. Yeah, Jolie says difficulties, but she also says here's the positives too. She's giving me a balance of both. Christine gives a balance of both. Okay? Try to balance out the way you look at the journey of jejus, because let me tell you, it's not an easy journey, but at some point you will see the light at the end of the tunnel on different symptoms. But you have to stick with it. You know you have a journey, and if you're working 9 to 5, it's going to be a longer journey, so deal with it. Or you cut down your hours and cut down your expenses. Because I'm going to tell you, healing does take time. It takes you to actually stay at home and freaking sleep. Eat food, sleep, deal with your stuff. Right. But I'm telling you, dealing with COVID, and this is COVID, okay, has been a freaking bitch. I'm not going to lie, it was difficult. Having to cough up everything, coughing so deep, and then finally coughing light. I remember how difficult it was like 10 years ago when I first got some kind of flu, where I was coughing up a storm. Okay? It's not easy. But at least I built up my diaphragm muscles coughing. And so if you haven't built up your diaphragm muscles coughing, it's going to happen one day, because you know that you haven't really, right? If you haven't gone through a major respiratory type of situation at all where you're coughing and you're feeling the evolution of your coughing, then your body is still not primed to release the excess on its own. And so, yeah, you have to turn to jejus to release it through the alimentary canal, the other end of your body, which is why probably I coughed more than I'm doing the jejus, because either way the body had to release through the alimentary canal. It releases on the top or releases at the bottom. If you're gonna do the jejus, fine, release at the bottom, but then you must make sure you keep your the substance to your body to yourself, so you're not energizing the nutrients away, so your body can, your body needs to use those nutrients. So that's why it's very important that you don't use jejus as a cure either. But then you have to train your body to be able to release too. So it's like, it's a mix and match. It's a balance. But since I've been on the jejus for 5 years, I knew I didn't need the jejus as a crutch to release the excess through my ass. I had the strength of my coughing to release it this way. And so you have 2 ways of releasing. Okay? 2 ways of releasing. But at some point, you got to have a light at the end of the tunnel. At some point, you have to find a way to characterize jejus where you can tell people. Because if you can write out in English, in perfect English, your maladies and all the different issues you have, then you can write out in perfect English. Whether or not you speak English as your first language, you can find the benefit. There's more to jejus than just thanks for sharing. I hear enough thanks for sharing. It's repetitive. There's got to be something different than you can say in response to all my information besides thanks for sharing, thanks for sharing, thanks for sharing. I know you're thankful that I'm sharing, but what do you have to offer to the community? What do you have to offer to yourself? And if you have nothing to offer the community or yourself, then why do jejus? You got to ask the question. And maybe not everybody is meant for jejus. And again, I don't want to be your doctor. I don't want to be your guru. I don't want to be anyone's rah, sis, boom, bah. I'm tired of coddling people. At some point, you're going to have to pull yourself up by your own bootstraps and start looking at why the hell are you doing jejus? Not because of me, because you want to freaking live. Okay? And that's the thing of it, is that I survived this COVID without having to turn to anything, not even my own jejus. I had enough muscles in my diaphragm to get things out. Imagine what it'd be like that you don't have to turn to jejus when you do get exposed to something. But maybe if you want to, that's fine. Hey, I could have probably done a bunch of waterfalls a couple weeks ago, but I didn't know I had it until the last couple of days. Now I could have done, the Jeju's last couple of days, but I didn't feel like it. I just wanted to sit with it and just work out the different muscles that I have, because let me tell you, if I were to do a bunch of Jeju's and release the other way, could I have worked up the muscles of my diaphragm? Let's say I'm somewhere where I'm out of country and like I'm somewhere traveling and I don't have Jeju's and I get exposed to a virus. Yeah, I'm going to be, in another country. I'm not going to have Jeju's. I'm not going to have the salt. I'm going to be sequestered because they're probably going to do some kind of testing to see if I'm even viable to get on the plane. So will I have what it takes to be able to get that variant out without my chili juice? That's the thing you have to look at as well. So you have to balance out using Jeju's as a crutch, as well as using Jeju's as a training wheels to strengthen and flex your inner muscles, your inner cells. So that way, when you're out there abroad and you don't have Jeju's with you because you can't take it everywhere with you, that you have the wherewithal in your body to get out foreign organisms or excess. That you have it with you. And that's what I wanted to see. So I only had a little bit of Jeju's during the coughing times. Now, if I didn't do the Jeju's, if I didn't do that little bit of Jeju's, could I? Yeah, I could have. But I'm like, I want to give more energy to the situation. And then you can do that too when you're out there abroad and there is salt, but you don't have Jeju's, but you have salt and you have water. You could do salt water and energize any situation if you happen to catch a virus or a bacteria in another country. And then you're kind of sick for a couple of days. But you're going to survive because your body has what it takes and you're going to eat food. I ate today a peanut butter bagel. It's a raisin bagel. And it was so good. I had a little bit of coffee. It's 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I feel amazing. Yesterday I was freaking on the couch. Couldn't even keep my eyes open. Going like, oh my God, this is going to suck. If I'm going to have to do and I looked up COVID symptoms. They're like, yeah, you could have COVID symptoms of fatigue and hot flashes and flushing for the next, it could be like 6 months to a year. I'm like, oh my God, if this is what I have to look forward to. But I don't look like doing Jeju's. Why don't I feel like doing Jeju's? Because I guess my body knew that it would be able to handle it. Okay, so so that's what you guys have to look forward to, is the ability to be able to expel everything on your own through your diaphragm and through your butt. And to finally speak some kind of positivity. It's not just love, 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 okay? Find the silver lining. Find the benefit that you have experienced. If you have no experience of benefit, then I don't know what to say. But I know you have the capacity, Kirsten and all of you have the capacity to put together a few words to say what it is that you see as a benefit that you can articulate. Just as good as if you were saying, thank you for sharing, or I'm in pain, I can't walk. Okay? I mean, you got to find a way to change your perception of the healing process. Yeah, it sucks. So I watched yesterday The Hummingbird Project. It was such a good movie that I actually got the gist of the fiber optic cables and the shortest distance between two endpoints. I'm like, oh my God, this matches so perfectly with the whole thing with the jelly juice and reconnecting, endpoints and connectors and things that are like, cut off and whatever. And I'm like, oh my God, I could use this as an analogy. So I use my time when I'm down and out from the healing process, and I go fill my mind with stuff like, that's not like stupid like Pootie Tang or, dumb comedies, but I actually watch things that are like documentaries or movies that are based upon some historical event, so I can make the connections and give myself more of the verbiage and more of the information to help me articulate what I have to communicate. And so filling your brain with other information aside from all the crap that's out there, that you can make the connection so you can articulate, in a very diverse point of view, not some tunneled point of view, that you can talk to many different listenings, not just one, that you can find something positive to say about yourself and as well as the J juice and all that stuff. And that's part of the evolutionary process, is actually expanding your brain so you're not just one track mind. Yeah, it's about life, but it's more than just your specific belief system and more than just your specific reality. But anyways, I'm going to get off and do my stuff, but I just want to put it out there. All right, thanks. I'm telling you, it's not easy healing, but at least you see the potential of it. All right, bye.